Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in for another show with Jessie Vargas. Today we're talking the Anthony Joshua against Robert Helenius fight. As we all know, Dylan White actually was the original opponent, but Dylan White turned out positive for performance enhancing drugs, unfortunately, which led Anthony Joshua to look for another opponent. Credit to Matchroom Boxing because they were able to look for another, I'd say, rival that was due under the circumstances because he's a good fighter himself. His name is Robert Helenius. He's 39 years of age. He is a little older, but he's been in there with several of the top elite fighters in his division. Wilder being one of them, Dylan White, Kanawicki, several fighters, and he's done well. So far he has a good record. I have it here. Good record of 32 wins, 4 losses. He has 21 wins by knockout. Only 3 times he's knocked out in his career. One of them was by Wilder. Dylan White actually took him to decision, so Dylan White couldn't knock him out. So I think he is a good rival for this fight, and especially under the circumstances. He's going to give Anthony Joshua a good battle, a good challenge. Overall, I do think that Anthony Joshua has the advantage, of course, because he's been preparing for so long. But let's talk more about the facts on both sides, right? So right now what we see is that Robert Helenius actually just came from a victory recently, a couple weeks ago. And after that's when, Dylan White came out positive for performance-enhancing drugs. He got the call. He accepted, within a week and a half or so. And you got to consider this. So there's so many disadvantages here because Robert Helenius wasn't preparing for it. He was in shape because he had just fought and he was victorious. But, he had to take that, 15-hour flight or so, right, to travel abroad to the UK to challenge one of the best fighters in the division, being Anthony Joshua. Now he has to change completely the vacation mode, right? Even though he was just in preparation for a fight, he won it, but he went into vacation mode mentally. So now you got to switch and say, all right, you know what? I got to get back into training for the next few days, and I'm flying out to the UK, and I beat Anthony Joshua. How am I going to beat him? That's what he's asking himself, right? He does have a good right hand, and a jab is a little sloppy, but he's very rangy. He's tall, so he's going to use it to his benefit. The right hand overall is his money shot. He lands that right hand right down the middle, and he does put guys in trouble. He staggers them, and sometimes he tries to finish him up, and sometimes he does. So we'll go with that. That's coming from Helenius. Now Anthony Joshua, he's been preparing for quite some time. He's training with Derek James, great trainer, actually one of the best trainers at the current time, at the current moment. And I think that Anthony Joshua has all the advantages for numerous reasons. Again, he's been preparing for this fight, and he has the power. He has a good trainer who's he's had a long training camp with. I think that he will win by knockout, in my opinion. But you shouldn't get too cocky because if Helenius is able to land a good short right hand right down the middle, he could put Anthony Joshua in trouble as well. So let's keep in mind what happened in the past. Similar circumstances, right, with Big Baby when he was supposed to fight Big Baby here in New York City. And what happened? Well, he came out with positive for performance enhancement drugs. They found Andy Ruiz as a late replacement. Andy Ruiz gave him the ultimate surprise and came out victorious. So Anthony Joshua did not win that fight. Similar circumstances, right? Similar situation. But I think that Anthony Joshua should be able to come out on top just because he has the experience, how not to get cocky as well. And, he has to be very patient. He needs to pick his shots. And overall, I think that he's going to be able to knock him out because, when it comes to his opponent, Robert, all he does is he lands that 1-2 and he backs off with his hands down. You do that against a guy like Anthony Joshua, he's going to counterpunch you. He's going to counterpunch you with that straight right and that big hook right over the top. And I think that's what will happen, which ultimately will lead to Anthony Joshua winning by knockout. Especially in the heavyweight division, you can't throw any combination and back out with your hands down expecting that your rival isn't going to throw punches. That's not going to happen, not at this level and not in any elite level in any sport. So you got to stay on top of it, right? And I think that's going to be Robert's big mistake, Robert Helenius' big mistake. So in my opinion, that's what's going to happen. So I'm leaning towards Anthony Joshua. If I were to bet, I'd bet my money on Anthony. Best of luck to Anthony Joshua. I know him well. This is not a biased decision now. I do think that Anthony Joshua wins the fight, but we will find out within a matter of hours. Tune in. Hope you enjoyed this show. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Take care now.